Howdy folks, I'm the Roleplay Gamer and I like to party. It is finally done. Here we go, day 3 of PAX. I say finally because I am tired and I'm looking forward to a rest. But today was actually pretty cool. I saw a lot of good stuff. The shit that I complained about yesterday in day 2, I didn't see any of that. Everyone was really excited and passionate about their products. And it was very refreshing to talk to such passionate and knowledgeable developers. All right, let's get started. First off, and this sort of took me by surprise. I don't know if this is... Look, it had probably been announced already, just I'm not clued into this sort of genre and I'm not looking for it, so I missed the announcement. But Master of Orion is being remade. No, I don't think it's by... Is it by Wargaming? Like, it's under the Wargaming banner. The Wargaming is the company, right? So, I don't know, maybe they're like funding it or something like that, I don't know. But, the lead designer, I believe he was, the guy who seemed to be in charge of the remake, gave this big, like, close to 40-minute speech and showcase of some of the systems of the game. It's your pretty standard 4X, but it looks pretty solid. I'm actually really excited about it. I know some people, fans of the originals are probably going to be disheartened by his talks of accessibility and streamlining things, for the new players. But he also did, talk about that they're keeping in the complexity as well. Again, I can't really comment too much on that because I never played the original Master of Orion or its sequel, so I don't know how much they've streamlined and how much of the complexity they've kept. But he seemed to assure everyone that you had the choice one way or the other. It looks pretty nice. You can customize your ships, which is great. They are including all 10, I believe, original races. That's what he said, even though only 8 were visible at the actual PAX event when he was showing it off thing. Not everything's done, so he did come across a few features like the shipbuilding and the tactical combat that weren't yet finished, so he didn't show us. He just said it's not done yet, so I'm not going to show you. So yeah, shipbuilding, there's going to be tactical combat in there, as well as the option to auto-resolve or simulate, as he said. Yeah, it looks pretty solid, looks pretty exciting. I'm not going to go too much in detail because I actually recorded his whole talk on video, and hopefully that's not terrible quality, so I do plan to upload that fairly soon. After that, I checked out Blowfish, I believe, is a company. They've got a couple games coming out. The one I was most interested in is called Siegecraft Commander. If you are familiar with a game from way back in the day called Moonbase Commander, it's basically that, but with a whole lot more, it seems. So Moonbase Commander and Siegecraft Commander, they're basically a turn-based, I don't even know how you describe it. Really, it's like you've got your base, your hub, and you shoot out sort of auxiliary buildings around it, and snake across the map, and they're all connected. All your buildings are connected, and they've got to be connected to the hub. And if you sever the connection, then the external auxiliary buildings are destroyed, and so on and so forth. And you can, launch attacks from various buildings. That was Moonbase Commander. Now, Siegecraft Commander follows the same basic principle. But it builds on it. So there are actually units now. It's not just attacking with bombs and whatnot. Also, that comes with the setting. Moonbase Commander was, of course, set on the moon, or a moon, if you will. It was sci-fi. Whereas Siegecraft Commander, I'm going to get those two mixed up at some point. Siegecraft Commander is medieval fantasy theme. So you've got humans against lizardmen. So that was nice to hear that there are two races. There's a choice there. They also said there's a third race that I'm not sure if it's going to be playable in the base game. Because I actually asked them, I said, look, I don't know about the backstory, the lore that you're seeing up here. Because apparently they're setting up quite a detailed story and universe, which is interesting. but are you going to be adding any more races further down the line? And then they said, we're not going to tell you what it is, but there is a third race involved there somehow. So I don't know at what point it's going to be playable, but that they did suggest that it would be at some point. So I don't know. That's just what they told me. Also, something that really got me excited about that, aside from the fact that you've got local split screen capabilities as well as online, I believe, which is always great, and I do believe they said that would be available in the Windows PC version as well, which I love. I love it when they include split screen on the PC version. That aside, you've also got the option of playing it turn-based or real-time, which I thought was fantastic. Turn-based is your sort of classic, more like moon-based commander sort of game type. But to play it real-time as well, then it's like a fast-paced RTS. Oh shit, that's interesting. I definitely want to give both a try. I could see myself playing both. On regular occasions, not just like dabbling in one or the other. So again, I got recorded audio for that. I don't know how good it is. Hopefully it's not bad, and you'll see that one soon. Moving right along, we've got Crawl. Now this is a game that I've actually played because I got code for it before I went to PAX. So the interview isn't too extensive, but basically it's a 4-player. I wish I could remember what he called it, because I put him on the spot. I said, now what the fuck would you call this thing? Because I wouldn't know what to call it. It's a roguelike. He said it was an uncooperative game. So you are playing with friends. It's only local multiplayer. I did ask him about online multiplayer, but he said that he's tried everything he could, but he just can't get it to work. So it doesn't look like it's gonna have online multiplayer at any point, which is kind of sad. It's only local. But yeah, so you've got a hero and you've got ghosts. So one of you plays a hero and the rest of the rest of your friends play ghosts, and you're competing to become the hero. So you've got to become the hero and win the game, and they're only like 30-minute games. They're great how small and concise they are. It's good stuff. It's really hard to explain. So the point is that it's like a focus. The main focus of the game is on the ghosts in a way. So what the ghosts can do is they can summon monsters and play as monsters, and they can possess traps in the rooms and try and take down the hero. Now, the reason that I say that a lot of the focus is on the ghosts is because the only way the hero can progress is through buying loot from a store, so buying weapons and special items and whatnot. Whereas the ghosts, they actually sort of pick a patron god at the beginning of the game, which mostly affects your playstyle or whatnot when you're a ghost. They can also upgrade the type of monsters that they can summon and turn into and whatnot. And when I first started playing, I'm like, what the fuck is going on? And then I started to sink in, hold on, the focus isn't to become the hero. Like, yes, ultimately you want to become the hero, but you need to fully embrace the fact that you are one of these ghosts that trying to undermine the hero. So it's not a matter of like, I've finally killed the hero, now I've got to stay like that. Like, if you can, sure, but you've sort of got to resign yourself to saying, okay, now I'm the hero, but that's not going to last, so I need to still be thinking, in ghost terms, because apparently this is one of the things I didn't pick up when playing it, because it's quite hectic. One of the devs said that you only gain gold while you're a ghost, and you need gold to buy items to upgrade your hero. So it's quite complex and weird, and you've almost got to think completely differently, just to like get your head around what you've got to be doing. But it's certainly a very interesting concept. It's a lot of fun, and it's a shame that it hasn't got online multiplayer, but I love that it is split screen. No, it's not split screen. It's all the one. There's no splitting of the screen. It's all on the one screen. But I love that multiple people can play on one PC. You can actually, in fact, I got a mock game going with myself and two other thirds of me by plugging in a controller. So one player uses a controller, one player uses a keyboard, and one player uses a mouse. So you can use the mouse just on its own to control one of these characters, which is pretty cool. So you don't really need much to get a game going. And I think, 3 players is definitely a sweet spot. Once you go to 4 players, it starts to get a little bit insane. It's like, holy fuck, just what is happening, And the hero just changes too quickly as far as I'm concerned. But yeah, for a 3-player game, you don't really need much. It's great. And lastly, we have Ascent. Now, this is a game I think a lot of you could be interested in. It's just like you haven't heard of it, hasn't really gotten much exposure, or you've seen some screenshots and you've gone, let me tell you right now, the screenshots do not do this thing justice. And I told them that. I said, dude, this looks so much better than the screenshots let on. It's still not like groundbreaking. Make no mistake, it's not like the best looking game. But when you understand, their budget and how small the team is, it's pretty much just one guy, I'm given to understand. You kind of cut us some slack. You understand why it's like that. But yeah, rest assured, it does look better than the screenshots let on. And when I said that, they explained it. Part of it is because they just don't have the bandwidth, because they're based in Australia. They just don't have the bandwidth to update the game and then update all the promotional content as well. Pretty much. That was sort of like the long and the short of it. So a lot of the screenshots and videos and whatnot are out of date, which is a shame. But basically, what is the game about? It's an MMO space sim. And these days, MMO space sims, you hear MMO and it's like, oh yeah, and you think it's a bit of a throwaway term. Like, is Elite Dangerous an MMO? Really? Is it? I don't know. I'm not sure. I wouldn't really call it an MMO. Like, maybe technically it is, but it doesn't feel like one. This one is meant to be more heavy on the MMO side of things. But it's not what you would expect. MMO, you think there's going to be some PvP action in there somewhere? No, there's not, like, at all. And they're sticking to that. That is on purpose. No PvP, which is wild. That just blows my mind. It's firmly player versus environment. So at the moment, they started off with no combat. That was going to be their plan, as far as I'm aware. They had purposely decided not to put combat in the game. That threw some people off. And in fact, the fans, the people who are actually playing the game, when given a priority list of what do you want to see next, combat was always at the bottom of the list, so they never put it in. Now they're starting to think, okay, so we've got everything else, we've got all the features in that everyone wanted, that they requested. Now it's time to look at combat. So there is combat in there, just it's not very fleshed out. I think that's what's going on. So now they're starting to flesh that out a little more, and they've got some pretty grand plans. So what can you do in the game? We're talking mining. We're talking building stations, building ships, all the way up to building colonies on planets. So they have in there right now, they've got the ability to seamlessly travel from space to the planet's surface. Now, I don't think it's the full planet. It's like wherever you jump in, wherever you fly in, it's like that. It's an area around that. And I think it will simulate more. I mean, there's a lot of information, so I might be wrong with some of this, but I believe, like, if you just fly further out, it will simulate more of the planet, but then it might... Oh, man, I don't know. They gave me this example of this one guy who had built a colony just so big that it started to stutter, right? And so they had to, like, change something in the game just for that guy so that he could see the rest of his colony or something like that. So, like, I mean, there's the possibility to go big, but it just might not be very practical for your system, because your system might not be able to actually handle the largeness of it, if that makes sense. But it seems very interesting, and they really stress the cooperative nature of the game. They don't want people necessarily competing with each other. And it reflects in the story, because it's like humanity is basically on the verge of extinction. and they're just on a few worlds. They're overpopulated, and it's the player's job to go out into the unknown, explore, and set down infrastructure and whatnot to basically save the human race. So it sort of makes sense why there's no infighting, because it's like, if there's only a handful of us left, are we really going to be trying to kick each other's asses? I mean, we probably will, but it makes sense for us to be more concerned with saving the human race than anything else. So even when they bring combat in, like I said before, it's going to be cooperative against the environment, against NPCs, pirates and whatnot. One of the examples that the creator gave, and I think he stressed that this was just his vision for it. It's not yet implemented, so it might not end up like this. But what he would like to see is, if someone abandons one of their colonies, it has a chance over time to become a pirate colony. And then it becomes a problem for other people in the system. So if you're also inhabiting that system with that abandoned colony that's turned to a pirate colony, then you've got to roll in there with a couple of your friends, and you've got to like take over that colony or wipe it off the face of the planet or something, which I thought was really cool. When I was talking to one of the guys, I said, you know what? This is starting to it's sort of, in my mind, it started as a space sim, but now that you've explained it, it's starting to sound a lot more like what Spore should have been, mixed with the X series, like X3 or something. And he freaked out because of, apparently the guys there, they love the concept of Spore, but of course, like most people, they hate the implementation of it. So he was like, "Oh, I love you right now that you said that." And I said the same thing to the creator, the founder or whatnot, after that, and he was like, "You know what? Can we just talk about something else? Because the thought of Spore, what it could have been and what it is just making me cry." So you sort of get an idea of where their head's at, I suppose, and what they're aiming for. It's certainly ambitious, and they're doing it. They're going there. Like it's huge. It has the potential, like it's fairly huge as it is, and it has the potential to be just enormous. Now, it is an MMO in every sense of the word, so there is a monthly fee, but I was shocked at what the hell the monthly fee actually is. So straight off the bat, you've got a choice. So if you're not going to engage in combat at all, then you don't have to pay for it, right? So your monthly fee goes down, which straight up is fantastic. That is amazing. Furthermore, it's only like $3 American for everything a month. What the fuck? So like, you buy the game for $20, and I think you get like a certain period of time, like a month or something, free. And then it's only $3 a month to keep going. What? I said, dude, how is that possible? What do you, like, compared to the standard $15 a month? And they said, basically, we're not looking to make money off the monthly subscription. The $3 US a month is just to maintain the servers. That's it. And he said, look, even if we've got like 2,000 constant active players in game, then maybe we start to break even and start to make a little bit of money. But even then, he stressed that even if they do go huge, they're not going to up the monthly fee, in order to make profit from that. Now, I'm not going to put forward the suggestion that that's like the way to do it. I mean, it's certainly interesting and cool. I'm not going to say now that's how you do it, because making money is not a dirty word. If people want to make money, and if people are happy to give people money, it's fine. I got no problem with that, as long as no one's getting ripped off. And I suppose that's all in the eye of the beholder, if you will, whether you feel your time is worth it or not. But these guys are just wow, right? They're being perhaps a little bit too fair, if anything, so that's pretty insane. Basically, just to sum it all up, the monthly fee is just to maintain the servers, and what they're making money off is the initial purchase of the game, which is, I think they said it was $20 US. So it's pretty amazing, guys. Check it out if you're interested in the concept of a cooperative space sim MMO. There you go. Pretty nuts stuff. So that's it. That's day 3 of PAX. I've rambled on enough. I would like to now take my boots off and relax. I mean, after I finish editing this video. Oh my god. Like, I'm glad I went, but holy shit. It was an experience, man. It was an experience. Anyway, guys, thank you very much for watching. After this, you know, depending on how we go with the interview videos, whether I post them, considering the quality and whatnot, we'll see how we go. But you know, barring that, we now should be back to a regular schedule on the channel. So look forward to that. Anyway, guys, be excellent to each other, and I will see you next time. Roleplay Gamer, out.